Hello, it's Tristan here from Zebra Invest, and today I'm just outside our two properties that I'm working on just on King Street here in the centre of Norwich. With the refurbishment way on, almost near completion, but it's way over budget. So originally we'd allowed about a budget about £75,000 to complete this property, and the idea was to simply go through the property, refurbish the flats upstairs, and then add in the kitchen from downstairs, so partly doing commercial conversion whilst keeping hold of a commercial unit downstairs just to use as an office. So what we've actually ended up doing is working all the way through the building, up and through, to be able to convert it. We've now put in a separation. So the idea is when you do a commercial conversion, you're splitting a property, you need to make sure sound can't travel through the building. I'll show you that inside, but we've put 100mm of rock wool insulation in the property between each floors, and we've also put another 50mm through the back of it. We've also managed to get building control involved because we want to make sure it gets signed off, so then once you've got building control in place, usually you might need a professional certificate of competence to demonstrate the work has been done correctly. But we've got our building control being signed off by the local council, and that should allow us to get the whole thing refinanced to move out. Our valuation date for the property is coming up soon as well, so there's going to be a fair amount of work there to get the place kind of turned around and ready to go. We're sitting slap bang in the middle of the week at the moment, but here, let's take you inside, show you around, and you can see what we've been up to. So here's 42 King Street. We've just got scaffold up at the moment. As you can see, the outside of the building has been prepped and completely redecorated up there. It needs a whole load of work to it, as it hasn't really had much luck or much looking after in probably the last I'd say probably at least 15 years. So the whole thing's been redecorated. We've put the front one side into brilliant white, and that really kind of splits it up and makes it pop off the street. We've done all the windows and everything else just to match in, so it should look really nice. Then next door, the idea was to go for a bit of a minty green, but it is a little bit brighter than we thought it would come out on the building. But once you step back from the two of them, you can really see that they are two separate properties. The idea is to bring across the whole of the bottom. We're bringing a dark colour in, including all the windows. So it should look really cool once it's done. As I was just talking about, inside down here, we've been fitting a ceiling. So this might look like a normal ceiling, but it's very different. And when I come down here, you'll be able to see. So you can see here, we have got what's called a metal frame plasterboard system, and we've got two sets of plasterboard in here. Above that we've got rock wool insulation, and then above that we've got another two sheets of plasterboard, and the idea being that it's going to be really difficult for noise to be able to travel from here into the floor above. So if you are in one of the HMO rooms upstairs living there, then you shouldn't be able to hear it. And what we put in the side here, it's got a toilet just ready to go. So hopefully we can have this as a commercial space, and we've already got a tenant potentially lined up, and they're looking like they'll be pretty good because they've been in business for about 5 years or so, own their own property, and they've got quite a popular business on the market. And then when you come down here, you can't really see it particularly well, but we've got one large three-phase meter in the property, and what we're doing is we're getting it split. So we're getting this one reduced down to a single phase meter and having a second meter installed, and by doing that, that means each of the properties in the building can be rented out or leased or sold, anything else separately. So we're doing that. The other bit we've got is we're having the water supply split, or should be split into two, so then you can have, each property can have its own water supply. So we've got all that sorted. What I'll do, I'll just take you back outside and take you into the back of the property. So once we're all finished, we will have our own, there's got a door just down the side here to be able to come down and come into 42A. It's just down this little corridor between a couple of properties, but this does serve a couple of other places as well. So as you're coming down, you swing around and you'll be able to see the back of 42, or what we're calling 42A King Street. So this building here in the Magnolia, at the moment it doesn't look particularly pretty. But what we're going to be doing is taking out these stairs here. They are existing fire escape stairs, but you can see we've blocked those in on the first floor. And when you come up there, we've come up with a really neat idea to be able to put a washing machine and a tumble dryer in there. The other bit we've done, you can see here, at some point in the past, and we managed to find it where you can see where there was bulges in the render, there had been lintels in there before, so we've reintroduced a window, and then down here we've put in a new front door where they used to have an emergency fire door. So I'm just going to come inside and show you around the rest of the place. So this brings us downstairs into the hallway, and the old kitchen was just here on the left, and we're currently just plastering it, and you can see that all coming together there. And then at the back we were going to have a walk-in wardrobe, which we're still going to have, but we've also now got an ensuite, which will be pretty neat. Here we end up having to put a steel to run through the building to kind of support the weight and the load in the roof of the property, or well, running through the whole of the property. So here we're just into the first floor, and this is that space I was just saying about from outside. It's a set of cupboards that we've put in, and because we've got to conform to fire regulations, we've already had a fire regulations assessor come out to check it, and he said, well, if you want to put a washing machine and a tumble dryer on your hallway, you need to make sure that it's not a fire risk. So we've built a fireproof cover. They've got 2 fire doors in the front. We're going to put a piece of worktop in there, and that should make it a really useful piece of space and keeps the noise outside of where bedrooms are and outside of the living space if you can be there. And then here we've got one of the bedrooms. We've started stripping and sanding the floors down just to kind of bring them all together and making them look nice and rustic. But you can see this one's all just decorated in brilliant white. With the doors that we fitted as well, and we fitted everything with some really nice kind of black features. And you can see all the way up the sides there, we've got nice little matching handles, so it should really look cool when it's all wrapped up and sorted. In this room we ended up leaving, we actually fitted OSB onto the wall. After we took out the chimney stack, we thought it would be a nice little feature to give it a bit more depth and a bit more colour. But you can see on the walls in here, we've actually used a slightly off-white colour called Timeless, which looks really nice. When you come around here, you'll be able to see into what is our kitchen living area. And you can see the whole thing's just been coming together. You've got the kitchen plans all left on the wall there. We've got really nice kind of oak style worktops going there. And we've got an island that's just going to sit on the middle here. So then you'll be able to have a huge kitchen area. It's got 2 sets of hobs ready for an HMO. We've got 1 oversized massive extractor that's going to be going on the wall up there. And then that just means that you should have a nice area for people to actually want to kind of cook and live together and enjoy being in together. We've got an American fridge freezer going on the end just over there, which allows us to have a big L-shaped sofa coming across here. And then that means we can have the TV just on this side. But you can see the place is now starting to kind of be pushed back and put back together. And then what we've did with the buying group that I'm part of, which is same deal, is we've got the boiler through that. So when we've decided to opt for a 10-year guarantee on it, and that means that we get about £20 or £30 cash back just for buying that boiler. It's a great way to be able to get them a lot cheaper than you would get them anywhere else. But yeah, it's coming together and it's starting to look rather nice. Then up to the top floor. I'll see you there in a second. So here's the top floor. As we come around, you can see just where the paint has been in some of the areas coming across the fresh plaster. We do have a bathroom in here, but it's always really dark because it's off to itself. But we have a sink, we've got a toilet going in the corner, and we've got a corner shower there that's really big. But the whole thing's actually been kitted out with some shower panel, which I'll show you what I mean in a second, because it really does look like tiles. So just in here you can see the ensuite, and in here you can see we've actually just about see it, but it's all got grout lines to it, and we've got nice twin-headed showers to make them really luxurious. And then back in the room, you can see we've got the radiators going on the walls now, and they just need the valves going on all of them to get them all wrapped up and sorted. But the doors are all looking good, everything else is kind of coming together. Here we've got a bathroom, again with the twin-headed shower, which just makes it rather nice to use. We're just waiting for another shower screen to arrive for there. And then here we've got 2 of the bedrooms that are pretty much ready to go. We just need to get the second fix electrics in them, and they're absolutely they should be absolutely perfect. There you go. So you can see we've come a long way with the project. King Street's really starting to shape up, and next week we've got valuers coming in. So we really just need to push out and get the last bits of the place sorted. With our plasterer just downstairs at the moment, he's just wrapping up and pushing through just to get that bedroom all sorted down there. So hopefully that'll take a couple of days to dry out, and then we get the whole thing mist coated, get the skirting board, architraves, and get the doors hung in there ready to go. Outside of that, we've got the hallway just to get that plastered, and that should then be again the same thing. Architrave, skirting boards, and that side just to wrap up with it, but that's just the downstairs bit. And on the outside of the property, we've got a render just to put across those doors, and where we've got those little openings that we put in. And once they're all sorted, we can take down the stairs off the side of the building, and it should really start looking like a home. The bit we obviously got to do outside, out the back of the place, is it needs to all be decorated. So when you look at it, it looks like a really stunning home that you want to live in. And with the front, we need to get that scaffold down so it's all wrapped up. But it's been quite an interesting project so far, and we've currently got planning in for next door to convert that into a Airbnb. And with this property, and in the midst of the time that we've got with interest rates being pretty high, we've all been trying to push and get everything sorted so our valuation can get turned around as quick as possible and get a loan sorted as soon as possible as well. Anyway, plenty enough about this project. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Hopefully you've liked this video and you subscribe to the channel. Cheers guys!